Hi, I'm Sean Hawk with Sean Hawk Magic. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome to my new channel. Today we're going to be doing a card at any number type of effect. It's a really great effect. It's going to blow your spectators' minds. And we'll get right into it. Just want to show you real quick. Today we will be using the Whispering Imps Red Workers Edition playing cards by Chris Chelko. You can pick these up at whisperingimps.com. They are made by the United States Playing Card Company, and you can get them for around $6 a deck. They are one of my favorite decks. So if you can pick up a deck of those, they last a lot longer than bicycles, but feel really great. So without further ado, let's get right into the effect, and make sure you stick around right after for the tutorial. Alright guys, this is a thought of card at any number, and let's get right into the performance. Alright, so the spectator is welcome to shuffle the cards as much as they like. And once the spectator is happy that the deck is thoroughly mixed, you get right into the performance. Alright. Let's say we have two spectators. First thing we need is for the first spectator to go ahead and pick a number, any number 1 through 52. Let's say they say number 30. Alright, number 30, go ahead and remember that number and we'll come back to it. The second spectator, what I want you to do is count down as many cards as you like. Let's say less than half the deck or so. I'm going to turn around. I don't want to see how many you count. And once you count them down, let me know when you're done. And just stop any number less than half the deck. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, so the spectator is happy with 15. So I turn around. I say, okay, now I don't know how many cards you counted down here, but this is the way you're going to choose a card. However many cards you dealt down, that's going to be your number, and that's how you're going to pick your card. So if you dealt down one card, I'm going to show you all the cards, whatever number of cards you dealt down, you remember that number, you remember that card for that number. So if you dealt down one card, you remember this one. 2, you remember this one, and so forth. Don't make any reactions. Don't tell me your number. Don't tell me your card. I'm going to keep counting all the way up to about half the deck or so. And just remember the card that falls on your number. Okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's the number they counted down, so they remember the 5 of spades. But they don't react. I keep counting. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Have you seen your card yet? You have? Okay. Then we're good to go. As long as you know what your card is. Okay, so you merely thought of your card. I don't want you didn't say it out loud. I don't want you to tell anybody. Just remember that card in your mind, just so it's your thought of card. Okay? And then the number of cards you dealt down, that was the number that your card was. I had no idea what number you thought of or what card you thought of for that number. Okay? Alright, so we'll go ahead and mix these up a little bit. As long as you remember your card, that's all that matters. Now, I have no way of knowing your card, right? Okay. Now, spectator 1. At the beginning, I asked you to remember, to think of a number. And what was that number? 30. Okay. What I'd like you to do is take the deck, count down 30 cards. Face up or face down, doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And what was your card? 30. 5 of spades. Your card, right there. Your thought of number, your thought of card, there it is. Hope you enjoyed. Now let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so real quick before we get into the tutorial, I just want to mention a few things about this trick. This is a method I came up with, which was loosely based on a trick that is in the Encyclopedia of Card Tricks, page 173. Basically, in that trick, and the trick is called Weirdo. Basically, in there it says that any amount of cards you put down minus. Okay, let me just say this. So let's say the spectator says 33. Okay, so 52 minus 33 is 19. So it basically says in the trick in the book for me to count down 19 cards. So as an example for the spectator. So I would say, okay, you count down your cards like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, like that. And then their card is on the bottom, and I show them an example of how to count down cards all the way up to 19, and then their card on the bottom goes in the deck, and then now their card will be 32nd. That's basically what it says in that trick. And I thought, well, you know, that's a really good thing to know, and it's a good thing for you to know too. You can probably use that sometime later, but I thought, man, that's crazy. Like, no one's going to give an example to the spectator and then count up to 19 cards. I could see saying, you know, do it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. But then to count like, you know, almost half the deck as an example, that just looks a little weird. So, you know, I thought there's got to be a different way to go about this. So I kept brainstorming and going back and forth on it. And I thought, well, what if I could get the spectator to count the cards for me? And that's where I came up with, you know, have them count down to whatever number they want. And then that will be the number that they think of that and then I show them that number of cards. So that kind of eliminates having to show it as an example of how many cards to count down. It basically has them do it for me. So I kind of came up with that. If anybody else has thought of this before, I don't know. I mean, I thought of it, but you know how it goes with magic. A lot of times you think of something and someone else has already thought of it before. I've never seen it done like that. So if anyone knows of someone else that does it like that, hopefully, I don't think there's any marketed effects like that. But so like I said, I did come up with that method on my own. I don't know of anyone else that does it like that. Hopefully there isn't anyone else that does it like that. If there is, I apologize. I'm not, I would never try to steal someone else's effect. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Encyclopedia of Card Tricks, page 173, Weirdo. That is what I base my variation off of. Okay, so after all that, we'll get into the tutorial real quick. All right. And this is a great effect. I mean, this is a thought of card at any number. I mean, it doesn't fall into the category of ACAN. It's not any card, but it is any card that you know they land on, but they can't just name a card off the top of their head. Okay, so basically what you do, and you can do this with one spectator. You don't have to have 2 spectators. But let's say we have 2 spectators just to make it easier. So you can ask the first spectator, name any number 1 to 52. Let's say they name 28. Okay. You can write it down, you know, fold it up, whatever. Write it down so everyone remembers it. So they say 28. The only math you have to do here is whatever number they say, you subtract that from 52. So they said 28. 52 minus 28 is 24. Okay. So 24 is the amount that they're allowed to go up to as when they count down. But don't say, you know, you can count up to 24 cards, because that sounds really specific. Just say count down as many cards as you want up to about half the deck, because it falls, no one's usually going to count down that many cards. And if you say half the deck, that kind of gives you, you know, it sounds more normal. So just tell the next spectator, count down as many cards as you want, and I'm going to turn around. I don't want to know how many you count down up to half the deck. So let's say they count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Usually people do 10, 15, sometimes 20, but anywhere between 10 and 20 is about the average. Let's just say they count down 10 cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, so they count down 10. Tell them to square it up so you can't tell how many's there. Okay. They say they're done with that. You turn around, then you explain to them, this is the number that you're going to locate your card. So for however many cards you counted down, I'm going to show all the cards up to half the deck, and you remember your card that falls on that number. And you say, for example, if you dealt down one card, 1, that would be your card. If you dealt down 2, that would be your card. Make sure they understand. It's a pretty easy concept to pick up, but you may have to explain it, you know, a little more to some people. So they dealt down 10 cards. You say, okay, however many cards you dealt down, that's your number. You remember the card that falls on that number. Don't react. Don't tell me what it is. Don't tell anyone what it is. Just remember it in your mind. So you show them the cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they would remember the 2 of clubs. And you keep counting up to the amount that you subtracted. So 52 minus the 28 is 24. So you count down up to 24 and then you stop. But don't say 20, you know, don't say 24. Just act like you're kind of trailing off and, you know, like you're already done. So there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And when you start getting toward the end, just kind of act like it doesn't matter. 23, 24. Have you found your card yet? So kind of, you know, when you get to like the last couple cards, just act like it doesn't matter. Just like 23, 24. Have you seen your card? You have? Okay. What you do at that point is, okay, you've counted the cards off into your right hand. The cards, or I'm sorry, into your left hand. The cards in your right hand that you were counting from, you just nonchalantly just drop those on top. Okay, once you do that, their card is now in the position, the 28th position that the spectator said, because you counted off the 24, and then you put it on top. So that puts their card into that position. Then you can just drop it on the rest of the cards here. And then what I usually do is just do a couple false cuts at this point. You can just act like you're mixing the deck up here. Just act like it doesn't matter. Just talk to them, give a little patter. You can do a couple false cuts. You know, just talk to them a little bit. You can do some false shuffles if you really want to, but false cuts usually make it a little easier. All right. And then you just hand them the deck and say, okay, so you said 28. I don't know your card. Nobody knows your card. I don't know what number of cards you dealt down, but deal down 28 cards. And they deal them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And what was your card? 2 of clubs at the 28th position. And it works every time. You know, whatever number they say, that's where it falls on. Now I'll quickly go over this one more time. I know it's maybe a little hard to follow. It's a really easy trick to do once you know it. But we'll make it easy real quick. So we'll say the first spectator says 26. Okay, so that's exactly half the deck. That makes it easier. So they say 26. You tell the other spectator to deal down however many they want up to half the deck. Let's say they deal down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They say they're done. You turn around. You say, okay, I don't know how many cards you dealt down. Explain how they're going to find their card. However many they dealt down, that's the number they remember. Remember the card for that number. So 1, 2, and make sure you count them like this. Don't do it like face down, or don't flip them up. Do it like this, because that way it makes it easier to put the half that you're dealing from on top. Okay, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 of clubs. And 52 minus 26 is 26, so you just keep counting up to 26. So there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Have you found your card yet? And you can even deal the last one as you're talking. Have you found your card yet? You have seen it, okay. And then you take the right hand packet and you put it on top of the cards that you just dealt out, and that's it. You don't even need these cards technically, but I always just drop them right on there, and then it's all done. It's all over. You just do a couple false cuts, false shuffles, whatever you want to do. Say, okay, you said 26, you thought of a card. Now that card is in your mind. I don't know it. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing what it could be. Okay. And they deal down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. What was your card? 26th position, 6 of clubs. So maybe figure out a few variations of this on your own. Maybe you can change it around a little bit, make it your own. Like I said, I wanted to change that method around of dealing down cards as an example through half the deck and then putting those on bottom. That's just way too obvious. It's a good idea. I mean, it sparked a lot of interest in me because I'm, as many magicians are, I'm obsessed with trying to come up with different kinds of ACANs and different methods to do any cards at any number. Now this isn't really technically an any card at any number, but it is a card at any number, and it's a thought of card at any number. I mean, they thought of that card in their mind. You don't know, you really don't know what card they're gonna say or what card they're gonna think of. You don't know how many they dealt down. You don't know what card they thought of, but you count up to the subtraction. So I'll briefly explain that one more time. Whatever number they say, you minus that from 52. Okay, so if they say 26, 52 minus 26, you do that in your head, is 26. So you'll show them 26 cards. Okay, and then once you show them that amount of cards, that goes under. Okay, the hand you were dealing from goes on top. All right, and that's the number you count to is the number that you landed on after you subtract their number from 52. I hope everyone understands that. If you don't, just let me know in the comments. Hopefully I explained that okay. It's a pretty easy concept to pick up. I mean, like I said, it's not rocket science, but you know, it may be a little confusing to some. But like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. If anyone has any issues with that, but it's a great effect, very great effect. People, I mean, it blows people away. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have not already, please subscribe. I'm trying to build up this channel and get it going, so just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like this video, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.